Why and how do I got 6 kids? I think everybody knows how I got 6 kids, but why? Long story short, I was going through various situations within my household at 14, 13 years old. Ended up being with my grandma, ended up meeting my first baby daddy and moving in with him when I was 14 years old, having 3 kids with him. Then moving on to my second relationship that I'm in right now, having 5 kids with him. One that's deceased that I don't like to speak about. I just feel like some people grow up faster than others, or are forced to grow up faster than others, and that's fine. You know, some people's situation is not going to be all sweet and dandy like people think or hope to see it. People gonna judge you no matter what. Just keep doing you. As long as I'm taking care of my kids, as long as my kids are fed, as long as they have clothes and shoes, that's all that really matters.
In regards to the 26-year-old mom with 6 kids, I shared my professional opinion as a former Child Protective Services investigator and social worker. And I got a lot of comments like this one: as a future social worker, we can't keep clapping for parents who do the bare minimum. Stop having multiple kids if you cannot afford it. And I'm gonna start by stating something that I thought was obvious. When you become a social worker of any kind, whether you work for Child Protective Services, whether you are at LCSW or an LMSW, you should already know that your professional standards and your personal standards will be different, because you cannot come into the social work field and project your own personal standards, your trauma, your personal preferences, or your own personal preconceived notions about people onto your clients. And that is why most of the social workers in my comments agree with what I said. In a professional field, you should never project your own personal standard onto other people. This is why common sense and listening skills are fundamental. In my video, I clearly implied that 6 kids is a lot, and that her standards of cleanliness and her standards of parenting do not necessarily reflect mine. But I also said that that does not matter, because in my field, I cannot project my own standards of living, my own standards of parenting my children onto other people, because I will be doing them a disservice. It's also very obvious that the field of social work is not for everyone. Unlike a lot of people, I have something called empathy, compassion, a master's degree level education in social work, and it is not our job to kick someone while they're down. And I am going to talk about Child Protective Services, because a lot of you seem to have a lot to say about that system as well. And while I do agree with some of you who say things like the system failed, well, the system failed this specific child, or you guys need to do a better job, I would like to further educate you, because I can tell that a lot of you do not understand how your local agencies operate. And in your comments, you're not only spreading misinformation, you come off as ignorant. And before I go into that, let me just respond something else to you. You said, as social workers, our job is to prevent something worse from happening. You said that that mother, the 26-year-old with 6 kids, should have CPS intervene before something worse happened. And seeing that other comment that you left solidified in my mind that you don't understand what social work is or what social workers do. In our field, we are not always looking to prevent worse things from happening, because people have free will and they're unpredictable. So I can't show up to your house with a bunch of pre-made scenarios of what I think you're gonna do next based on my own imagination. Actually, not even based on what I've seen in other cases. I can't come into your life with a bunch of preconceived notions and ideas. For example, come into your house and your cabinets are dirty, which according to the state and Child Protective Services, having dirty cabinets is not a hazard, especially considering the age of the kid. There's a lot of things that go into consideration, but I'm not gonna go into that. But in your eye, because our cabinets are dirty, the home is filthy and unsafe. So you're the kind of person that will hold on to that and use that against the parent to then say, well, because the cabinets are dirty, I'm gonna assume that she's also not feeding the children, even though you don't have any proof or evidence that that's what's happening. Because her cabinets are dirty, I'm gonna assume that she's also abusing the children. Or because she yells and cusses, I'm gonna assume that she hits those children. And then you're the kind of person that will go in front of a judge and tell him a bunch of hypotheticals and have those children removed from that mother. You will break up a family, and then all those kids are gonna end up split up in the system in foster care and probably going to a worse environment. It's so crazy to me when people talk about a job in a field that they know nothing about. Oh, but as a parent, kids deserve vacations. Kids deserve a better standard of living. How can you stand there and say that the bare minimum is acceptable? I literally have people telling me that because I said what I said, they understood that in my personal life, I fully support that and I live that way. Once you reach a master's level education in social work, and you actually get a job in social work, whether it's CPS or at a hospital or anywhere, you're going to quickly realize that your personal standards and opinions will differ from your professional ones. Now let's talk shit about CPS. Child Protective Services is an agency in which the workers do not make the policy or the rules. When I was a Child Protective Services investigator, and a decision in a case had to be made, the decision either came from a policy handbook or from a judge. That's it. CPS has a set of policies that are put in place by the people that you vote for and by your local judges who you also vote for. So if you don't like the policies and the way CPS operate, you need to vote for different leadership. You need to vote for better judges. The workers follow orders. CPS workers across all levels follow orders. It's either policy or an order from a judge. I had situations where I felt children needed to be removed, and I had a judge who was very empathetic towards the parents, and the judge decided not to remove them. And then the children ended up in a worse situation. Before y'all come for me and say, oh, you were removing children. There are situations where children absolutely need to be removed. There are things that are happening to children out there every single day that you cannot even fathom or imagine it in your head. Like actually fucked up shit. And while you're there telling Child Protective Services, caseworkers, and investigators that they need to do a better job and intervene because of...
So by now, you would have all seen the video going around, the woman who is 26 with 6 kids and 1 on the way. And as I watched that video, I, like everyone else, was absolutely shocked that you could be 26 with 6 children and a 7th on the way. But I think it's a wider reflection of society, class, and an attitude towards children. I know so many people who are putting off having children because they cannot physically afford them. And I know the woman who made this original video would not be able to have 7 kids if she wasn't getting government support. I mean, have you seen the cost of 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom, 7-bedroom houses? They're simply unattainable for most people, even people that have money. But I think it's interesting because it does seem to be a class thing. A lot of people who have multiple children, 6, 7, 8 children, tend to be from the lower class. And that does stem from poverty. A lot of people back in the days had kids to help out around the farm, so they had a lot of kids because it made sense. Whereas nowadays, obviously, that just isn't the case. The other thing is that people of higher classes tend to plan financially for their children. They think about things like junior ISAs, private school, and having the right provisions so they can give that child a good quality of life. The problem is when you have multiple kids, the finances are stretched. Even if you are on benefits and you're getting government support, there can't be a lot to go around. So the fact is the quality of life for every single individual child is going to be relatively poor. And that does have a massive impact on the child, how they see themselves, their upbringing, their quality of life. It all matters. Another thing I want to highlight is a lot of these conversations tend to be targeted towards the women. But where is the energy for the men who are getting these women pregnant? If these kids are not all with the same father, how can you as a man go after someone who has multiple kids and think that the situation is going to be any different when you have kids with them? I mean, for me personally, that's just not attractive. I would never want to have kids with someone who's got 5 kids already, maybe by 5 or 4 or 3 different baby fathers. So I think it's a number of different factors. It's really sad to see this type of behavior. I think women need to have more self-esteem and control over their bodies, and men need to step up and be a bit more responsible. Shame plays a big part as well, because if you had shame, you wouldn't let yourself get in a situation. And finally, it just highlights how dysfunctional the community is. In other communities, these types of things would be frowned upon, but somehow people use them for clout. And overall, I just think it's quite a sad situation.
So I'm going to preface this by saying I don't like to beat nobody while they down. But this 26-year-old mom with 6 kids, pregnant with her 7th child, I just want to let you know this, okay? And it's not to bash you or anything like that, but it is to bring awareness to other people that may be headed down the path you're headed down. Children are not emotional support animals, okay? And I heard you say that you had children because you needed something and somebody to love, okay? That's not the way it goes, because those kids are not going to be children forever. Right now, they're going to love on you. But when they get older, they're going to want to hold you accountable for the choices that you made. And the choice to make them struggle with you on this earth is something that you're going to have to answer to them for. You, as a parent, we want to give our kids the life that we did not have. So at 26, do you honestly believe you're giving them the life that you didn't have? Minus you being there as a mom loving them, because that's something you probably didn't have. But I'm talking about the room that you dreamed of having, the home that you dreamed of living in, the family vacations that you dreamed of going on. Can you honestly say that you're giving your kids the life that you wish you had as a child? And right now, they're here. You're going to love your babies, but this is for the women the young ladies that are going down that path, the young ladies that feel the same way you felt to put you in this predicament. And no, I don't think your circumstances are going to be like this forever. I feel like if you have the drive and the wherewithal, you're going to accelerate and you're going to succeed, but you may not. That's the reality of it. You may not succeed in the way that you should with having the responsibility of feeding you and all of those kids, okay? So at the end of the day, I'm not here to bash you or beat you down. I just want you to look at it from that lens. Can you honestly say that your kids are here because your kids are here and you're able to give them the life that you didn't have? And I'm not talking about just you being under the same roof with them. I'm talking about everything, because right now they're young. They don't know what's poor and what's rich. But when they get older, they're going to look back. And my mama used to always say, kids are not going to be kids forever. And this new generation especially, I saw one boy say if he was a millionaire, he wouldn't even buy his mom and daddy a house because he not here to take care of grown people. And he came from a good background. And he still say he ain't going to do shit for his parents. So I just want you to look at it through that lens. Love on your babies. Do the best you can with your babies. But, for the young people that this could be happening to, reconsider that.
Every day I wake up, I'm grateful for the life that I have because I got shot when I was 14 years old. I don't know if I even would have been here to have kids. So that's why I have so many kids. My kids are my family.
She doesn't need more kids. She needs therapy. She was shot at the age of 14. This girl has gone through a lot of trauma, and she's been having children since she was 15 and hasn't stopped since. She says her kids are her family. And the problem I have with that statement is that children should never be born with a job. Children should never be born with a job to fulfill in us something that is missing or to heal our pain. Further, who's spending time with those children? Because it looks like she's got her hands full already. She has a new baby on the way. Who's going to spend time with the older children? Raising 6 children is a full-time job. So it leaves her very little time to nurture those children. The trauma she has gone through in her short life, because she's only 26, needed to be addressed with therapy, not with more children. She's robbing those children of a proper childhood, and she's robbing herself of the life she could have had if she didn't have so many children. You can't tell me that her life is fulfilled just because she's having all these children. She might have convinced herself of that, but she can't convince us that that's what she wanted out of life. This is the life she has accepted that she now has. And so now she just keeps having more children. And also, what's the end result here? What is the number she's looking for? Because she's already on number 7. Does she even know what number she's going to be happy with? Is it number 10? The older children are the ones that we need to talk to. We don't need to talk to her because she's happy having more children. But the older children, those are the ones that are going to be affected the most because mom keeps taking care of the new babies that are coming in and neglecting the ones that have been there before. She needs therapy.
So far, really, how are you doing? If you have watched this clip or video, please do also like, comment, and share. Turn on the notification bell. That way, each time I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. A 26 years old girl with 6 children and expecting another one, making it 7 children. I don't understand. How can she be bringing a child into this world only to suffer them? And she have nowhere to stay. How can a 26 years old girl be having a child of 6 children with the one that she's still carrying, making 7 children? How many years did she started having kids? You that have watched this clip or video, what do you have to say in the comment section? Please do well to comment to her and share your thoughts in the comment section. When did she started having kids? Where did she start ovulating? When did she give birth to all these children? We don't understand it. And people have been reacting to it, and how people are reacting is so alarming. So guys, what do you have to think about this video? I have already made a video that poor people should stop having children. Do not bring a child into this world. that you cannot cater for, a child that you cannot train. Don't bring a child into this world only to come and be suffering them. It's not done in that way. No, no, no. It's a not done. How can you be giving birth 1 to 3 to 6 and you are still expecting another child at the age of 26, making it 7 children? So you that have watched this video, I want you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you have to think about this. Seriously, too much of children cannot do you any good. It will make you to lose your self-esteem. It will make you to lose your worth as a woman being. How can a woman be giving birth like what? I don't know. People reaction is just like it shocks everybody. Seriously, all the TikTokers, they are just like wow, wow, wow. How can this woman be giving birth to 6 children at the age of 26 years? When did she started having kids? So you that have watched this clip or video, I want you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that what she's doing is the best thing? Do you think that bringing a child into this world that we cannot take care of is the best thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that she should continue giving birth? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And please stay tuned for this channel so that each time I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Bye bye.